young Pakistanis are achieving in all the spheres of lives, and they have very good record of achievements within Pakistan and abroad. Today we have with us one such talented young Pakistani woman, uh, Dr. Aneeqa Suhail with us. Dr. Aneeqa has completed her PhD from Catholic University Leuven, which is one of the most prestigious universities of Belgium and is very highly rated and ranked in the world rankings. And currently, Dr. Aneeqa is teaching as assistant professor in the University of Tilburg, Netherlands. Welcome to the program, Dr. Aneeqa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
First of all, would you like to introduce yourself? Like, what did you study and where are you working at the moment?
Thank you so much, Mrs. Saida, for inviting me for this program. I'm Aneeqa Suhail, recently became doctor. I would like to start from the very beginning of my academic career. I basically started after my matriculation from Lahore. I started my high school from USA on a exchange program. It was fully funded by a US Department of State, and it was for young females. And it was one of the programs that basically highlight young females who are quite talented or who have achieved good grades in their high school to provide them the opportunity to study 1 year in USA. So I was selected in that program, and I went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania in 2004, 2005, completed my 12th grade from there. It was a life-changing experience, of course, being a 16 years old female from Pakistan, going to USA to study. It was really a very great experience, life-changing as well. I was able to win a lot of awards, such as President's Volunteer Service Award, where I actually did 200 hours of community service in USA, and then other leadership awards from different states of USA. Then after my return from there, I got admission at Connect College. I did my FSc with the stats and maths in majors, and I completed my FSc from there. Within that time period, I got one opportunity to represent Pakistan again at Kazakhstan Almaty conference. It was Flex Yes alumni conference, which I was part of YES program, Youth Exchange Scholarship in Pakistan. So I represented Pakistan there. Meanwhile, I also got admission in bachelor's in business administration at Connect College. I did my bachelor's and honors from there. And completing my bachelor's, I was quite confused to start either do opt for some industry work or some traineeship or start my further studies. I got this opportunity at Punjab University who were at that time offering MPhil in management sciences. The programs looked very promising. I got admission there and started my career from business to studies from business to more likely public administration.
Mm-hmm.
I was a student of Dr. Jadoon, Dr. Nasra, all the big names of public administration, Dr. Jaffrey as well. So studied from there, and after completing my studies in I think in 2013, I got the opportunity to teach as a business school teacher at University of Central Punjab, Lahore, Pakistan.
Mm.
So it was a big change from being a student to being a lecturer. But I grew myself in 3 years, also became program manager of executive MBA program, which we launched in 2016. and it was quite successful at that time. Meanwhile, I was also applying for different scholarships abroad, and I got this IRO scholarship from KU Leuven, Belgium, and I came here to pursue my PhD in 2017. And recently, I just completed my PhD on HR autonomy in public hospitals in Pakistan, and its increased performance and outcomes. So it was that kind of experience. Again, I would say that it was very life-changing experience for me. And then I completed my PhD. I defended it in September 2021, very recently. And right after that, I got the opportunity to become a lecturer at Tilburg University Human Resource Studies Department. So it's been a very, I think,
a big
different kind of
yeah.
Yes, very quick as well, I would say. I was not hoping, but it just came. I was applying, of course, for different opportunities, but this appealed me most because I'm also a human resource specialist in my field and have been studying this area a lot. So it is a wonderful opportunity, and very recently just announced as assistant professor in the same department.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you
a
so
big achievement. Like in such a short span of time, you
Indeed.
have been like, you have already become an assistant professor. This is like a huge achievement, I would say, for a Pakistani woman. And the University of Tilburg is in the Netherlands, right?
It's in Netherlands. I've shifted from Belgium to Netherlands. It's in Tilburg actually, and it's a public sector university.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think like this education system of Netherlands is also quite highly rated, and these universities are like on very among the top ranking universities in the world, and it is a very big achievement that you have been offered this job so quickly, and it shows your hard work and your dedication, and like winning a scholarship for Catholic University Leuven, that would also have been a very, an outstanding thing, I would say. Can you explain a little bit about KU Leuven? Because not many people in Pakistan know about KU Leuven, that how prestigious is this university is in the world ranking and what it has to offer.
Thank you so much. Indeed, I would say that KU Leuven is, I think, 45th top ranked university. Its number is already. It was it's going and becoming one of the best one in the fields as well. It offers a lot of different subjects actually. I will start by how I attained the scholarship and move towards different courses as well and different scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
KU Leuven is a private university, but it's one of the top ranked and very famous in public administration. Mm-hmm. So I was looking into public administration since it was my field, but also combining a cross fertilization between public administration and human resource management. Mm-hmm. And the university basically offers public governance department where I have studied Public Governance Institute in KU Leuven that offers this interdisciplinary work.
Okay.
Professor Troy was my supervisor, and we applied for this scholarship for developing countries. It's IRO. It's inter-university scholarship, which offers for students, brilliant students in developing countries from across the world. Pakistan was and is one of those. Very few people, I believe, only I can count like 2 to 3 people only get these kind of scholarships at KU Leuven. But KU Leuven also offers different scholarships for different countries, including Marie Curie, also which is a European program. But Erasmus Mundus is also a very good part of KU Leuven for master's program, and for for PhD, I would say there are projects or scholarships based on FWO, which is a Flanders Research Council grant, which is very competitive again. But during my 4 years PhD, sorry, I was able to attain 2 times FWO grant, short-term and long-term, for data collection in Pakistan. So it was also
Very
one of
good.
the very challenging things. But of course, KU Leuven offers a different variety of subjects from behavioral sciences to hardcore sciences such as mechanical engineering and physics, and all these subjects. We have very top people. Dr. Abdul Qadir Khan has also studied from KU
Yeah,
Leuven. So it's one of the top universities indeed. I would agree with you.
yeah. And it is supposed to be like contemporary of Oxford and Cambridge. It's very old, and it also has like maintained its status and its this excellence over the centuries. So
Yes,
yeah,
indeed, it's 1425. It was actually started in 1425, very long time ago, I would say, and very traditional. The university building itself is quite traditional and very sophisticated. The faculty is top class as well, and they offer a variety of opportunities for international students as well. They have programs in English. A lot of their programs are in English, mostly master's level programs. Bachelor's level, there are still some which are only in Dutch language, which is the official language of the country, actually.
okay. But what had motivated you to start PhD? I mean, you would have been you were teaching there, and then you would have been searching for scholarships or opportunities in other countries as well. But what motivated to come, especially to Belgium, and also to start your PhD?
It's a very difficult question to answer. A lot of questions are in it. But I will start by the motivation was, of course, it was I was very fascinated towards research since MPhil, because one of my MPhil project was also quite nice in terms of young doctors' demand of service structure. So it was one of the major problems that young doctors were facing in 2010, and they were on the street. So I investigated what are the HR problems that they have to face. So this was one of the targets that I wanted to pursue further, and I wanted to investigate further in Pakistan. Also, I think that we have very few females in public administration who have attained this title of doctorship. So I think that was also one of the another motivation. Then my father was an inspiration for me to pursue this PhD degree, as I believe I'm the only one in my family, both males and females, who have opted for academics and taking it as a profession, actually. So it's a lot of different aspects that were very motivating. Also, in University of Central Punjab, we were used to gain some mentorship or work with the doctors who have recently completed their PhDs. So there were a lot of inspirations as well. Dr. Aisha Azhar used to be a Fulbright scholar, came from USA, and she was also one of the inspirations that, okay, like I can do that as well. So that's why I applied for this IRO scholarship in KU Leuven, and Public Governance Institute was one of the top ones in the field. Geert Boekhaert, Troesteen, Andy Hondegam are top names in public administration. If someone is studying currently, I think they will definitely recognize all these names. So in that sense, this was become an inspiration, that of course to study from one of the top institutes in the same academic field. So that was also some inspiration to pursue this PhD.
Great. And PhD is not an easy task. It requires a lot of energy, dedication, and a lot of work has to go into, and it's a long process. So, did you face any challenges, and particularly being a woman, what were the challenges? that you had to go through while doing your PhD?
Indeed, as a female from Pakistan, I think there are several challenges. Of course, coming from Pakistan is itself was a challenge. My father was one of the motivating factors who took this step and enabled me to come here. He was throughout the period. He was very encouraging and very motivating. Always stood by me. So I would say that, of course, I would not take the credit myself. My family, my especially father, was always motivating, not only to study but also to explore Europe. So in that sense,
Mhm.
I did a lot of exploration as well. Um, but PhD life was not easy. I would say that I concluded my PhD life in one sentence as a roller coaster ride. It starts, it goes up and downs, and of course, I had to face a lot of difficulties as well. But the support of university was there. For example, we come from Pakistan. In terms of course, my area was also studying public hospitals in Pakistan, so it was one of my competitive advantage. But the skills, the research skills I learned, which are very unique and top class in their own sense, were what we gained from the university life actually. And the supervisor was very accommodative and very supportive throughout the period. The staff was very supportive. So I think as a female, you get a lot of opportunity to grow yourself within the academic world in when you study it from different country, I believe. And gaining this PhD title was also a support of different colleagues in the field, also supervisor and yeah, top academics in the field that have supported the idea and then enabled me to achieve it. So it's a combination of both my colleagues and I would say my family, for sure, that enabled me to overcome all the difficulties, challenges, and the yeah, hardships that you face during this time.
Yeah. Family support is definitely a big factor. It becomes a big factor, particularly in our cultures, and we always need family support. And what was the title of your PhD, and what were the findings? What were the major findings in that?
My PhD was on HR autonomy. Basically, autonomy is granted to public hospitals in Pakistan, and the title was HR autonomy in public hospitals in Pakistan. Increased employees' outcome or performance, or a myth adopted.
Mhm.
It's a question still quite difficult to answer. It's a combination of myth and also increased performance. But my study was basically about comparing two provinces, Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Khyber
Mhm.
Pakhtunkhwa is recently in 2015, not so recent, but it has been given autonomy, full autonomy to public hospitals under Medical Teaching Hospital Act
Mhm.
2015. Very famous. A lot of people know about that act as well in terms of making public medical teaching public hospitals autonomous.
Mhm.
So basically, I compared Punjab and KPK, who were, I think, who are still the forerunners of this autonomy acts, and really adopted it to its true spirit. And then we compared basically how much autonomy is granted to the medical teaching hospitals. Of course, the provincial acts were very different. Punjab has a very different provincial act of autonomy than KPK. So we compared that. And then ultimately have seen how human resource specific to HR autonomy, how this autonomy enables adoption of different HR practices, and how these practices affected the outcomes in terms of increased employees' performance and organizational performance as a whole. And the conclusion that we came is basically about that. Of course, KPK province has been able to provide more autonomy to the medical teaching hospitals in terms of making decisions and in terms of making changes. Punjab, although has very powerful bureaucracy that sometimes hinders the adoption of the reform in a true spirit. So this was one of the main findings, but we have seen that the implementation is in terms of what is intended in the Autonomy Act and how it is implemented. There is a big gap in Punjab. While KPK, we found that to some extent the gap is quite low and less, sorry, I would say less, and there is bridging between the what is intended and what is implemented.
Okay.
And then with performance, I would say that both the provinces are doing to some extent well. Employees are more happy in KPK province to some extent, but still there is resistance to the act because of the culture. Pakistani, it's difficult to accept the change. So doctors are not willing to perform according to their pays or pay for performance. I would say that they do not want to do that. So it's difficult to implement it in its true spirit. But they are making some efforts. And I think very recently, 2021, Punjab has also adopted the same act of KPK province, and they have also given more autonomy, and I believe it's more accurate autonomy now, or more actual autonomy as well, to some extent. But still, I think research needs to be conducted that how these reforms are being implemented. I think my another conclusion would be that it takes at least 10 to 15 years to see the results of the reform. So no one can right away predict that one hospital is doing, or one reform is doing better than the other. So it still requires some times to see how both provinces are progressing in this Autonomy Act.
Have you shared your research with the government of Pakistan or not?
Yes, I was actually involved during data collection with the health department in Punjab and KPK both. We are in process of developing policy recommendations for both provinces, and I'm still writing it. It's very very early, since I just completed my PhD and also started teaching. So, but I'm interested, and I'm also making the draft paper to share with both the provinces.
Oh, that'll be very good. Yeah, they can take benefit from your findings, and hopefully that will help in improving systems or whatever loopholes are there. So,
Yes.
what would you suggest to young Pakistani people, like young Pakistani students, that do you see some opportunities for them in Europe as well? Because most of us tend to go to UK and United States. So, are there good opportunities for them to come and study in European countries as well?
That's a very nice question. I think very needed to be answered question by different people who are studying in Europe. Since I have also been to US, so I know a bit about United States academic system, and I compare it with Europe. I would say that, of course, both are excellent in their own terms. Very good opportunities are available for from European countries for different countries in developing countries, or different countries in Asia specifically. They have different programs. As I shared before, they have Marie Curie, which is top class. Just compare, you can compare it with the Fulbright of United States. Then you have Erasmus Mundus program. A lot of Pakistanis come on this Erasmus Mundus, where they can get exchange program from not only study semesters in one university, but rather they can combine different universities as well. So it's excellent opportunity to get advanced knowledge from different top class universities in Europe. Then your culture is very open in a sense that they are very welcoming, and they are very traditional as well, more traditional than USA because of the they have this whole tradition, the history, which enables them to be more, in a sense, uh, down to earth and more cultured and more humble, in that sense. And that you can see in students as well. It also provides opportunities to students to learn about different languages, because Europe has a lot of different languages to offer. Also to understand how different cultures work, because diversity is one of the strength as well of Europe, in terms that it's not that in Belgium only Belgian people live, rather it's a diversified country. Similarly, in Netherlands, there is a lot of big population of Muslim people over here. In Belgium as well, we have Pakistani community as well, which where we all gathered for different occasions, Eid and other all occasions of Pakistan. For 14th August, we celebrated. So these are all the opportunities that are available. You get all kind of facilities in terms of mosques as well. In Tilburg, for example, and in KU Leuven, I will say as well, there is a special mosque for students that is dedicated for praying and for learning Quran and for learning Arabic language and stuff. So that kind of facilitation has been, yes, that kind of facilitation has been provided in both Tilburg and KU Leuven. We have the association, especially Muslim Students Association of Tilburg and of KU Leuven. So both universities offer this kind of opportunities to them. Then during Ramadan, we used to gather with different countries, Muslims, and used to break iftar. So I'm just sharing that all these possibilities are there. Someone should not feel that when they will come here, oh, they will have to change themselves and will not provide the opportunity to practice. It's not true. Actually, we have a lot of opportunities over here, and very open-minded people are present over here to share your values, to encourage you to practice those values, and of course provide you opportunities to learn and grow in your environment. One message I would give, especially to females, to please get your strength and become more motivated, and I think take the courage to come out from Pakistan, learn different skills, get the knowledge, and maybe go back to Pakistan to serve your country with the full potential. So I think that is very much needed. We have, I think, more than 50% population, female population in Pakistan, and I think we should not ignore them, and we should provide them maximum opportunities. Maybe HEC, I would say that should have a quota that more females can go abroad to get education, maybe something, these kind of new I think initiatives should be taken in Pakistan to encourage female education to the maximum level, I would say. Yeah. And just to add that there are different fields, not only public administration, rather public administration was one of the field where very less females come, but there are different fields available, all kind of fields that welcome females and that provide all the opportunities to different students from different world.
Oh, that's great. And at any stage, like during your studies or while working on the teaching faculty of University of Tilburg, did you ever experience racism at all, or no?
I would say that I have not experienced it. And I have not heard from different people as well. Of course, I would not deny that that's not present. There must be, but I was never exposed to any kind of racism. KU Leuven is very open culture, and also very open kind of a university where students from international groups, different international groups come. Tilburg itself is a very international university, offers majority of the program in English, and also embrace a lot from Muslim world because of the background as well. Netherlands has adopted Muslim accepted Muslims refugees and Muslim immigrants quite a long time ago, more before than Belgium. So in that sense, it's very open culture. You can find a lot of halal food and everything. But so far, I would say since my past 5 years, I have never experienced that kind of or any kind of racism at all in my surroundings. Um, of
This is
course, you
good.
do not one should not be so extremist in the views, I think, but they allow you to practice, they allow you to and rather participate. For example, I can share some examples. Whenever it's Ramadan time, my whole department at KU Leuven used to encourage me to do it, and also used to facilitate me by reducing my working hours, and also facilitating me by asking about me, how am I doing overall, and if I need something else. Then the KU Leuven Imsal Mosque, which was for Students Association, they used to do all the iftar. So in that sense, the KU Leuven Imsal Mosque means that KU Leuven fund them, and they provide the space to them. That's a big, I think,
Big
initiative from
respect
them,
to
which
diversity and diverse
yes,
religions, yeah?
which should be encouraged, yeah, which should be appreciated as well. KU Leuven also have international group, which is Pangaya. It's a group where international from all over the world come, and they unite, and they celebrate different occasions. So we get to see a lot of different traditions as well, from different not only religions but also from different countries. So I think I have never experienced it. One need to be strong in their faith belief, and I think then nothing can harm you in practicing it or stop you from practicing it. But be in your I think the balance needs to be achieved as well, that you do not have to be extremist. That's not encouraged in any way at all.
Okay, thank you very much, Aneeqa. It was pleasure talking to you, and you have actually shared some very good messages for our viewers, and particularly for the young people. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.